Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cinema Asylum podcast. I am Matthew, one of the superhero and sci-fi experts, and the only one that's here today.
Once again, he's always doing his Joker impression. Almost every time we do this
Always.
podcast. Yes. Next time, whenever I do this intro, I'll do an impression or whatever. Anyway, I am John Thompson. I am the action movie expert. And ladies and gentlemen, the king of other expert has returned.
Hello, Sydney. Okay, my impression probably wasn't as good, but
It wasn't.
it's okay. I am Paul, the horror expert, if I can say that right.
Yes.
And Dylan is not here today. We're switching it up. Paul's here, not Dylan.
Yeah, exactly. But he did say we're like the 3/4 of the Musketeer. He literally just said that before we even started this recording.
With 3/4 of a musketeer bar.
Yeah. But
Yeah. We had a
welcome
fun
back.
episode.
Welcome back, Paul. Great
Thank
to see you, and great to also for us to be back in this podcast, and the fact that Paul is finally here. That makes us very happy.
It's an honor.
Yes. But how you feeling about today?
Feeling absolutely fantastic.
Me too.
It's good to be back and doing my terrible ghost face impression.
Actually, the Ghostface impression was actually pretty good.
Thank you.
I swear
Thanks,
someone had to
buddy.
think it's good.
Oh man! Wow.
I'm
All right.
ignoring you, Matthew.
We have a lot of fun stuff on this episode coming up.
Absolutely.
But, like always, subscribe, comment on what you like about us. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're going to have stuff on YouTube pretty soon. Reminder, we have a Blu-ray to give away. We need to hit 100 followers on Twitter, which you can find us at Cinema Asylum. We're at 7 currently. If we get to 100 followers and we get to 500 downloads, we will be having a contest to give away Avatar on Blu-ray. So make sure you like and download the episode. And yeah, comment, let us know give us feedback on what you think is wrong and what you think is right, and on everybody's crappy opinions. Roast us for our crappy opinions.
Roast Matthew.
Yeah.
So you got a story to tell about Burger King.
Okay, so...
Oh boy.
Okay, so for those who do not know me beyond my love of horror movies, I am a huge fan of the Spider-Man franchise. I think that it is one of the absolute best franchises to have ever been
Absolutely.
created. So I'm a big fan. So if you live under a rock, or you're like Matthew and you don't eat out that much, and you don't know that Burger King right now has a Spider-Verse Whopper
Yeah, I read this and I was just thinking.
and
that
Spider-Verse
is so-
Sunday,
That's just so weird.
I had to try the Impossible version. And for those who live under a rock, like I said, the Impossible Whopper is a vegetarian, vegan option.
Okay.
So you can still have a Whopper, basically. So anywho, I tried this version. But whenever I was going through to order, I said to the drive-thru attendant, "Yeah, I'll have the Spider-Verse Whopper and the Spider-Verse Sundae." And I made some kind of like just quick whip about like, "Oh, I'm totally not a Spider-Man fan," you know. So I go through and then I pick up the order, and she looks at me and she's like, "Oh, you must be the Spider-Man nerd."
Oh my goodness gracious.
So then they have this hat. You know how Burger King gives out the crowns for the kids?
Yeah.
They gave me a Spider-Man crown
Oh my goodness
For
gracious.
Miles Morales.
for kids.
That's awesome.
I haven't been the size of a kid since I was like 3.
You know what's funny? I actually went on a breakfast date at Burger King this morning. Which actually my day was so interesting. I mean, pretty much the days that feel like the day's been shifted. Normally we record on a Sunday. We're actually recording on a Saturday afternoon, actually, for this podcast.
Anarchy.
Yeah. So yeah, I had
Surprise, Sydney.
I had a breakfast date with my girlfriend, and then we just drove back home, and then all of a sudden, Paul sent me a message that said, "Shall we just do the podcast recording today?" I was just thinking, okay, so I just came here.
Because this weekend's Memorial Day weekend,
Yes.
and you got a cookout tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm going over to my uncle's cookout, and I got. You have no idea how many cousins I actually have, and so many uncles and nieces. I got a big family on my side.
And next week, things will get a little bit heated. We'll be doing our Spider-Man rankings.
It can't be this heated, can it? I mean, just give me a bit of heads up, guys. I love every single Spider-Man movie.
I'm gonna try to get to Karate Mupp next week so we can drop you for your bad opinions.
Great.
Although I'm gonna get dropped too, so
Oh, great.
because you know what my last place is, so
I kind of forgot,
okay.
actually.
Yeah, you'll get mad all over again.
I'll probably record mine just in case I can't make it next weekend.
Yeah.
We'll probably go ahead and get mine out of the way today, if that's okay with you.
Well, you haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but, as of now, it hasn't come out, so therefore it's not canon yet.
I thought we were going to see it Saturday though. We could record Saturday when you're here. Record it real quick.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
yeah, that is true.
Either way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, we're going to see Spider-Verse Saturday afternoon. Because
Oh.
Paul will be here.
Really?
Yeah, he's filming that day, so.
We usually go on a Friday.
Well, we still don't have the second car, so.
Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, I actually forgot. Oh, yeah, that's right. My brother and sister are taking me to see that movie.
Oh, you're going with your brother and sister? I guess me and Paul will go see it.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
this was not my original plan.
You traitor.
That's what they said to me a couple weeks ago,
You
actually.
fucking Judas. If anyone doesn't get that reference, it's from the movie Superbad.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this was not my original plan because I was gonna go see it with you guys, but then, however, they are humongous fans of the Spider-Man movies and also Into the Spider-Verse. Let's make the argument right now. It's one of the top 10 or top 5 greatest anime movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
It is that good, and that's actually the reason why I'm wearing my Spider-Man shirt today, actually, because I am so pumped for this new sequel. I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. And I got a feeling that if it's actually that amazing, don't be surprised I have this
Amazing.
one. Don't be surprised if I put that one at number 1.
That's going
because
in the bank.
it was not a pun.
You said amazing. Amazing Spider-Man.
I don't think that should count because it wasn't a genuine pun.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't. It was
Okay.
not.
Are you guys ready for the trivia question?
Oh, yeah. How about you, Paul? You ready?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
You guys aren't going to get this, and I'm going to get the points. Because the goal is for me to stump you guys.
Okay.
The Xenomorph was on screen for how many minutes in the first Alien?
Whoa. Wow. Okay.
So you got like a chance of 1 in 119. Because it's an hour and it's 119 minutes.
It's got to be at least double digits. I'm thinking at least 30 minutes.
Can I give a general answer and still get it right?
I'll say if you get it within 5.
Okay, I'll go with 30.
I'm going under 10.
Okay. What number though?
I don't know because I don't know the Alien movies that much. I just know that usually, like for example, in some of the Halloween movies, Michael Myers is only in for like 10 to 15 minutes. If that sometimes.
That's just so
So,
wrong on so
I'm-
So
many
give me a random
levels.
number and I'll tell you if it's within 5.
7 minutes.
Okay. It was 4.
What?
So I got it?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah!
4 minutes?
Yeah, it was only because it was a suspense movie for most of it.
Uh-huh, it was.
Builds up to it. So yeah, the Xenomorph was only in it for 4 minutes.
Goodness gracious. That is so interesting. I mean, it's a great movie. It is a fantastic
It
movie.
is.
But
That's
the fact,
such
man, I didn't even focus on the fact that he was that much that much
that
long.
little, yeah.
That's crazy.
Such a stark contrast to the first Harvest, too.
Where you're in most of the movie.
Okay, so I actually have some First Harvest news too, so it kind of does segue a little bit.
Okay.
You got what, 3 screenings now?
We're working on the third.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, like I said, my character, the killer, is in over half of the scenes. I didn't necessarily plan it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I promise I didn't, because I don't necessarily care for attention. So I just felt like that it was interesting to include diverse scenes, because there are scenes where I portray the killer as the killer, and scenes where I portray my character as, somebody who is hurt and searching for answers. So it's almost like two different characters in one.
Like Ghostface. Except Ghostface doesn't hurt.
Right. Well, I'm not talking about physically hurt.
Right, I know what you meant, but yeah, Ghostface doesn't really hurt.
But anywho, so my first harvest news, we have 2 screenings that are confirmed. The first screening is going to be in Bloomington, Indiana on Saturday, October 14th.
Okay.
And I can confirm, this isn't, for the record, this is not the official announcement. This is just me confirming it ahead of time, that the first harvest will be screening at the Waldron Fire Bay Theater in Bloomington on October 14th.
Interesting. Okay.
Very close to Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Which is what you were hoping for.
Which is what I was hoping for. But the second screening is going to be in Shelbyville, Indiana on Thursday, October 19th.
Okay.
At
Nice.
the Strand Theater.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Okay. That. I love going to the Strand so many times. That was like my childhood when I was a teenager when we did the Cheviato competition. I love the Strand. It's my favorite place to go. So
you're saying you're going to be at the screening?
I might. Will you possibly be up on stage to talk about after the movie?
There is a
Yes.
stage, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
Okay.
part of the screening is we're going to be doing a Q&A after. For those who
Okay.
do not know what that term means, it is question and answer. So basically, we'll go up, the crowd is going to ask us questions, and we will answer. I cannot promise that all the answers will be serious, but I can promise that it's going to be a good time, and over half of the movie is already edited. There's probably only 30 more minutes of footage
Okay.
to edit.
And so, have there been any ticket price announcements when how much it costs to be at the door to see the movie, or is it actually free, or
In
what's your plan?
Shelbyville,
Yeah.
it will be $7.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure in Bloomington, but I think it's going to be the same, if not $10.
We're going to have to do some Cinema Slam podcast promotion for this one. Like,
Yeah, we're doing an episode.
Yeah, and like at least all 4 of us could actually like maybe you could put out like a billboard sign or anything like, "Hey, we're the podcast buddies, and we're supporting Paul and all that stuff." We should do that. That could be really fun. So, very cool.
I will say, too, that whenever we get closer to October, and I haven't told Matthew this, so I hope it's okay to just go ahead and say it. He's giving me the look right now. I will be doing a giveaway on the podcast for a DVD copy of The First Harvest.
Nice.
Oh, okay, nice.
I don't know the terms of the contest yet, but keep an eye out closer to October. Or an ear out, technically.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
If you keep an eye out, just watch your headphone. Or your speaker.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like those videos where you have the parent telling their like young kid, keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on the ball, and then the kid puts their eye on the ball literally.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, apparently, you never know. Baseball thing, it can go like 100 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you might get hit in the face. Sadly, that would not be good. And so, I also have an announcement as well. I'm actually working on I actually think about doing a project. I'm actually going to do an audio project for the Cinema Simon podcast that I actually want to talk about. You guys ready for it?
Yeah.
No.
you will be. It's pretty simple. So, as you guys know, I love video games, and I love the Nintendo, and the Super Mario Bros. Movie, as of right now, is like one of the best stories of so far 2023 in the movie business. I'm thinking about doing a 2-part audio of the making of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Okay.
It'll be in 2 parts. It'll go all the way back to Nintendo's beginnings and the success of the Mario video game that got into this horrendous 93 live action movie. So I'll get from the 80s to the 2000s for part 1. Then part 2, it'll be from the 2000 to all the way up to the 2020s. And that'll lead me up to talking about the making of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
So would it be like an audio documentary?
Yes, audio documentary. Yep, and yep, it'll be free exclusive for anybody that would like to listen to it to know about how they managed to get from not doing so well to making $1 billion of this year. The title is going to be called From Mamma Mia to Woohoo!
That's awesome.
The making of the Super Mario Brothers movie. So if you guys would like to listen to it and whatever I give you all the information on when it's coming out, I'll let you know when actually we'll be doing it. But it has to be very successful in like the first part for me to actually do a part 2 if you guys are interested. So I'll give you all the information very, very soon whenever I actually do get a chance to finish the project. So yeah, it'll pretty much be a free audio exclusive about the making of the Super Mario Brothers movie from Nintendo's days all the way up to today. So I actually been very passionate about it because of the success of the Mario Brothers movie, which I love so much, by the way. And Mario's like my favorite character ever. So
I've got an idea for it.
Okay.
This is just for you. It's not for out loud because
That would be cool. That would be good. Yeah. Okay. That's what it says right there, buddy.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, I wasn't even reading what I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Read right there. I think so.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be awesome.
That way it's a surprise. Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, that would be good.
And what we just read is
Redacted.
Yeah. Exactly. And just to give you a bit of a heads up too, that pretty much my recording, it's pretty much going to be all in my room where it's like nice and silent. And no, I won't be putting any Nintendo music because that'll be copyright reasons. So it's going to be just pretty much reading about the whole thing about Nintendo all the way up to the movie. So it's going to be just me talking about it, which a lot of people love to talk. So yeah, if you guys are interested, that'll definitely, I would definitely appreciate that if you guys would be interested. Because if you guys love Mario just like I do, you definitely came to the right place. You have another thing, Paul, that you actually would like to share before we get into the movies we got to watch?
Yeah, so I have some more movie news for my work.
All right.
I have a short film called My Devotion, which we are filming exclusively in Shelbyville on Saturday, June 3rd.
Wow. All right.
We also have a documentary that we're starting.
That's funny because I actually saw a documentary, which we'll get to that in just a moment. But documentary, okay, cool. I like documentaries.
It's going to be a companion to my film series, The Recovery. In fact, it's actually called The Recovery Documentary.
Oh my
So,
word.
What we're going to do is Holly, my co-star in The Recovery, is actually going to interview me.
That's awesome.
And then I'm going to go around and find people to talk to about recovery, addiction, how they got out of addiction.
If
how
you
they
guys
got
have
into
not
recovery.
seen The Recovery, by the way, you should. It is phenomenal. It's definitely very touching for people that go through a tough time like that. It's powering, very powering.
And in further recovery news, we have The Recovery 2, which is hopefully filming on June 10th.
You got me hyped up, for sure.
And I will say, we had tried to film it, and there was just a few issues with the video that we felt like it'd be better to redo it. I will say though that what we do have of The Recovery 2 already is so good. And I think that it will be very emotional for the audience The only spoiler that I'll give away about it
You got massacred.
is there's a sequence in The Recovery 2 where my character plays a video game, specifically Call of Duty.
Okay.
And this isn't necessarily a spoiler, but with his younger sister.
Okay. Interesting.
And she slaughtered me.
Oh no.
The kills were literally like 10 to 1.
You were
Oh.
well done after that.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Wow.
And I'm super excited for The Recovery 2. Casting for it, Holly, of course, reprises her role as Amy. I reprise my role as Chris.
Of course.
And then we introduce the actress Chloe Lutz as Devon.
Okay.
And without spoiling it, the last scene of The Recovery 2 is going to be by far the most emotional scene that
Oh,
I've
boy.
ever done.
Oh
And
boy.
cliffhanger.
And it's kind of a cliffhanger. I predict that every single person that watches The Recovery 2 is going to bawl their eyes out at this scene.
I'm gonna make it my mission not to cry then, just to prove you wrong.
Oh gosh.
I know that not literally everyone's going to cry. I'm just saying that this story is going to show the dark side of recovery.
Oh man. Oh man. I tell you, I sort of get emotional pretty easily. Whatever movies I watch, I'll be thinking, oh no, here it comes.
Just
Well,
take me to a
this-
superhero movie, I'll cry.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
The Recovery 2 is definitely a lot darker than the first one.
I'm not surprised.
And it, like I said, I think that people are going to bawl their eyes out at the ending.
The second one usually is darker. Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
The second one usually is the darker one.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, if you're definitely interested in this work and you actually are interested in watching The Recovery Part 2, Paul will give you more information when it comes around just around the corner. So,
My Devotion will probably come out at some point in July.
okay.
The Recovery 2, it might be July, it might be August.
Okay. Sounds good.
I do not want to release them both in the same month.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say about My Devotion is this is going to be the most strikingly different short film I've ever done.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's not along the veins of The First Harvest, and it's not along the veins of The Recovery. For one, it's actually a romance piece, partially. And I've never actually written romance before, and yet it stands as actually my favorite script I've ever written.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
So, My Devotion, I'll say this and then I promise I'll shut up. Casting for My Devotion, we actually just added Paisley Blackburn to the cast, who is a phenomenal actress. We have newcomer Michael Reed, who is a wrestler by the name of Zodiac.
That's actually a pretty kick butt name for a wrestler. Zodiac. Urgh.
And let me tell you something, man. He is good. Not just in the ring, but he's a really solid actor, too, for somebody who literally has only done work with me.
That's
for
cool.
now.
And then, of course, the normals.
Of course, we have Holly Anspaugh in My
Yep.
Devotion. Easily one of the absolute best people to work with in film. So naturally, she auditioned and knocked it out of the park. And I want to say too, like, for that role, every audition was amazing.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was like, it was actually the first time that I actually had trouble casting.
Oh my.
I had a casting director, and the decision was mostly in their hands, and their feedback is what helped me cast Holly.
I kind of feel like you and Holly are becoming like a power team, like Michael Caine and Christopher Nolan.
I feel like that her and Derek do more, but
Yeah.
I think that working with both of them is absolutely amazing. So My Devotion coming out more than likely in late June or early July, or we could do the first screening at my birthday party. You never know.
True.
That's true, and I did mention that Holly would be a great guest someday. So if she ever listens to this podcast, please come by very soon. We would love to have you because, like I said, you were incredible in the recovery. Oh man, so good. That's so good.
So yeah, movies we've seen this week.
I've never seen a couple of good ones. That's for sure. What I rewatched and what I just watched for the first time actually.
I watched a couple things for the first time.
I mean, I might as well go ahead and tell you what I actually watched.
Yeah.
I rewatched Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, and let me just say this straight: the movie is perfect.
It is.
Seriously, I mean, every single time I get to watch Mission Impossible, I get more and more excited. I mean, from 3 through 6,
Yes.
it's
So good.
it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how in the world how can you top the action that you keep on doing so good at it, and then you keep going up and up and up, and it just keeps getting better. I'm so excited for this Mission Impossible sequel. Oh my gosh! I mean, July is going to be huge.
Fast and Furious and Mission Impossible are similar. Fast and Furious, they're not bad movies,
Right.
but they keep getting stupider with the stunts.
Oh, I know.
And
Yeah.
Mission Impossible keeps getting cooler, but they're both getting more fun each time.
And how old is Tom Cruise? Is he in his 60s?
I think he's like 58 now.
I mean, certainly. I mean, he's going to keep doing his own stunt, and he's going to hurt himself, but
That's why
he's not going to care.
That's why they're stopping the Mission Impossible movies, because he's getting too old.
Tom Cruise is exactly 60
Yes.
years old.
Oh,
Crap, you beat me to
well,
it.
there you go. And also, can I say the director, Christopher McQuarrie, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
Holy crap, he is one of the best action directors working today.
Yes.
Seriously. I'm hoping whatever the Mission Impossible franchise, whatever is done, that he'd get to direct some more action movies.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if he directed the last two Fast and Furious movies.
That
Ooh.
that would be interesting.
That would
But,
take it to a whole nother level, and it's already on a whole nother level with the action.
but seriously, Mission Impossible, man. I just love this action franchise so much. Oh my goodness, it's so good. And the second I got to watch is a documentary. And the documentary is actually available to watch on Paramount Plus, which you can check out, and it's called Console Wars. And it's a video game documentary about the rivalry between Nintendo and Sega, and it's so fascinating. It's so great. They were talking about how they created this Nintendo, and from 85 to 89, they were like the go-to video game company. But then Sega was like, it can't be that special, so let's make a Sega Genesis, and the rivalry between these two, it's so good. And there was even a few of the documentary when Nintendo was like, oh, it's not the greatest game in the world. I was thinking, oh, shots fired! But the whole documentary is great. If you guys love documentary and you also love anything that involves video games, please check out this documentary. It is awesome. It's very fascinating. And since I love nostalgia, this was made for me. I love nostalgia, especially old commercials and backstories of how it all began. So this one was definitely made for me. So definitely check out Console Wars. It's great.
Did you watch anything new this week?
I watched two things.
Oh,
Yes.
nice. Okay.
One of them, which is one of my favorites.
Yes. So the first thing is on Tuesday, I saw Fast X.
Yep,
It is such a good movie.
it is.
You guys are probably going to kill me for this. You guys is in the audience.
Uh-oh.
I never have seen a Fast and Furious movie before Fast X.
I
And unlike Matthew, I don't have to watch them in order. So, Fast X was the first Fast and Furious movie that I've actually seen all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of the other ones.
Oops.
And it was really good. It was really good. I think that Vin Diesel really upped his acting game in this one.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
And I love the ending because it gives you so much to look forward to.
There were some people that were pissed by the ending. They thought, really, you're gonna left us with a cliffhanger with that? And then of course there was
it should make you want to go back and watch Fast
Oh, I'm
11.
excited for it as well. Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about Fast X was they did not once advertise it as fasten your seatbelts. That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
Both movies you watched this week had good endings.
Yes.
I just came up with that pun like days ago. That's funny.
Second movie was the new Shazam movie, Fury of the Gods. I felt like it might have been a little bit long at parts, but I really, really, really enjoyed this one. I think it should have done better at the box office.
Oh, absolutely.
It was definitely it's one that almost got me to cry towards the end. Which, if a movie can successfully make me cry, then it's automatically 5-star.
Yeah.
Unless it makes me cry because it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
Did Guardians make you cry?
shut up. Like 4 times, okay?
The third one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So anywho, Shazam 2. I was very drawn in by the villains.
Yes.
I felt like that the villains were very, very, very well done.
Absolutely.
I do not know who the 2 actresses were.
Rachel Ziegler and Lucy Liu. And then Helen Mirren was the old one.
They did very, very good.
Helen Mirren's actually in Fast and Furious too.
Okay.
I think she was in this one briefly, the new Fast 10. She's the old one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did she play the mother?
Yeah, she's Jason Statham's mother.
Okay,
That's why I thought it looked familiar. Oh man, this was way before I even watched the Fast and Furious movie. Okay, that was
also in the movie
That
Red.
was her. I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's also in the movie Red with Bruce Willis, the retired Extremely Dangerous.
Well,
Those are hilarious movies.
let's be honest. Jason Statham's mom is hilarious.
Yeah.
In those Fast and Furious movies.
I mean, as far as Shazam 2 goes, I felt like the ending of that was also very well done. It's been long enough that I can say spoilers for Shazam 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever Billy did die was kind of the moment that almost got me to cry. I was actually surprised because she had kind of a cameo earlier where it was like, was it a dream sequence?
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was actually her.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That was so funny.
But then there she is actually at the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, the moment that Wonder Woman shows up, it's like, yeah, he's surviving.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear that electric cello start playing, it's like, okay, it's go time.
Yeah.
I find it funny, that is only the second time that we know of that a zombie has been seen that they didn't freak out.
Well, yeah. That's true.
Matthew's trying to figure out the first time that someone rose from the grave
Oh.
and no one freaked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I tell John? Should I fill him in? You know, the first time someone rose from the grave and no one freaked out, the only time was whenever Jesus rose from the grave. There was not one person that was like, run, it's Jesus, run for your lives!
Oh my word.
I did not think of that. I was like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
A huge shout out to the late great comedian Sam Kinison for that joke.
Oh, okay.
If nobody knows Sam Kinison, please do yourself a favor and look this guy up. He is so hilarious.
Oh my word.
I watched a few things this week. First a couple rewatches, and then I'll get to the new stuff. I rewatched the movie Legion with Tyrese Gibson, Charles Dutton,
Oh yeah, you showed me the clip of it.
Willa
Yeah.
Holland, Dennis Quaid, Lucas Black.
Oh man.
It's a stat cast.
Yeah.
And then, how do you pronounce his name? Paul Bettany? Vision
Oh yeah.
is the lead actor. He plays the angel Gabriel.
Okay, interesting.
Or was he Michael? He was Michael.
Michael.
Yeah. and it's a action horror movie. It's actually really good.
Okay.
I rewatched The Transporter 3, Jason Statham's first Fast and Furious franchise, where he's the driver that transports goods.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched Shazam, obviously. I had the very first copy from Walmart on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tell us that story, Matthew.
No, I'm good.
That movie deserved a lot. Like I said, movie deserved a lot more love. Seriously. I mean, the box office got so buried. That should have never happened. That should have never happened.
And then the movies I watched for the first time, I watched 2 short films, so I'll get those out of the way first. The Gunfighter, absolutely hilarious.
Oh, man.
It was narrated by Nick Offerman. I recommend it. It's on YouTube. It's 9 minutes, so you can't say it takes too much of your time. Go watch it.
Yes, it's so funny. And I want to see more Western movies like that.
And then I watched a dystopian short film, a black and white animated one called Model Citizen.
Hmm.
It's dystopian, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about people doing what they're told, and the robots threaten the government as soon as they outlive their usefulness, killing them. Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
And then the 2 full-length movies, I've been wanting to watch this for a while because of, shout out to Grave Robber, awesome band, horror punk band. I've been wanting to watch this for a while because it's one of their song titles. The night Evelyn came out of the grave. So yeah, I watched The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. It's an old Italian horror movie from the 70s.
Oh, okay.
And then I watched The Ride, which has Ludacris in it. It's a Amazon Prime original. It's a true story about a BMX rider who started. He had a bad home life. His dad was a Nazi. His mom was a drug addict. He gets put in juvie, and he ends up getting taken to a foster family. If he can go a year without getting in trouble, he's eligible for adoption.
Interesting. Okay.
He was raised in his father's footsteps to be a Nazi.
Whoa.
When he meets the couple, he finds out it's an interracial couple. Ludacris plays the father.
That makes sense.
So, it was a really good movie. Maybe tear up a couple spots, but it was a really beautiful movie.
No surprise there.
So, obviously, he ends up accepting Ludacris, and they actually do become a family, and it's a beautiful story.
I think you can all agree, too, when speaking of Ludacris, the Fast and Furious movies, Ludacris and Tyrese, they're just hilarious.
They are.
They're by far the funniest characters in the entire
And Paul only
franchise.
got a small dose of that, because Fast 10, they're not really doing much in terms of roasting each other. But they roast each other hardcore in the other ones.
The real question about the new Fast and Furious movie is, do you guys think that everyone died when the plane went down?
No.
I'm hoping they don't, because that would just be crazy if
As
they do.
Dylan said, they had I think he said Jeep that was parked in the plane.
Yeah.
They drove that Jeep out of the back of the plane. Because you seen part of Fury 7 when you were here that one day.
Mm-hmm.
And they drove the cars out of the back of the plane with parachutes. I feel like they threw parachutes on that Jeep and jumped out of the back of the plane right before it blew up.
I mean, good lord, cars out of a parachute. I mean, what's next? We're gonna meet aliens now.
No, time travel.
They better not do time travel. Like I said, that would tick me off if they do time travel, because I do not want them to do Avengers Endgame of Fast and Furious. Do not do that. Please don't. Because if they decide to do time travel with this whole Fast and Furious thing and decide to do it like Avengers Endgame, I will be ticked. I will be so mad. Because I'm thinking, you guys are not the MCU. You don't need to do that. but yeah,
They're already doing Infinity War, so.
But yeah, but I got a quick question about this whole Rock mid-credit controversy. Would you agree that was so stupid for them to post on the online or on a paper before they even see the movie? Because if I would have read that and I actually heard that The Rock was going to be in it, I would not be this excited, because people look up online to see, spoiler, The Rock is going to be in the mid-credit scene. They keep doing that. It's stupid. It's so stupid.
There's freaking Flash spoilers out, and the movie doesn't even come out until June 16th.
I know, and I was thinking, oh, great, lovely.
Here's the thing. Stop spoiling movies.
Yeah.
Stop spoiling credit scenes.
Exactly.
I mean, now movies aren't even out yet. After the premiere screening in New York or whatever, you get spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
Movies don't even hit theaters yet, and you're getting spoiled anymore.
And that's one thing that I've had to be kind of cautious about with The First Harvest. And what behind the scenes photos are allowed, what ones aren't.
Exactly.
And I can verify that because of leaks and because of, spoilers, I have actually, and this is, not anything that's hidden, so I can say this, but I've put out content that specifically misleads. So, if I've put out a photo of a character that is very bloody and has obviously been stabbed, chances are that character was not actually in that scenario. We did that specifically to avoid spoilers. So,
yeah.
in The First Harvest, you're not going to be able to guess what's going to happen because everything you think you know is a lie. It's like the late great Roddy Piper said. You think you have all the answers? I change the questions.
Well,
Anyway.
apparently the movie companies decided, well, we're going to screw that, and decided, let's go ahead and post it. I mean, seriously. I mean, I understand you're trying to build the marketing for a new Fast and Furious movie. I get it. Just don't post that, okay? Don't ever post anything that says, oh, look, it's this guy. He's going to be in the big credit scene. Go see our movie. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all.
Fast X is a movie that does not need to depend on a spoiler like that.
Yeah, exactly. And also, thank you, Matthew, for bringing up The Flash, because, yeah, once again, people are being so stupid by deciding to say, okay, here are the spoiler leaks. And I'm just thinking, okay, whoever posting these, just stop. Just shut up. Please. That's literally all we're asking. I want to be excited for the film, and I do not want to read any spoilers, and I have to be very careful. I'm not looking at Facebook pretty much all the time. If they say, oh, this is going to be the mid-credit scene, I'm thinking, don't do that.
Yeah, all I'll say is it's a massive cameo that I got spoiled.
Oh, God. Great. That's great. Great. And you're probably not going to be as excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple, folks. Stop spoiling shit.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
That's all I can say.
But you know what? Whatever the cameo it's going to be in the movie, I'm going to be excited for it if I don't read anything. And I can promise you, when the film comes out at a Thursday night on June 15th and then opening weekend on June 16th, I am not going to read any crap whatsoever. No plot points or anything in between. I'm just going to go in completely with an open mind. And keep in mind, I was nervous first for The Flash. But then I kept hearing it's one of the best comic book movies of all time, and I'm just thinking, okay, what world are we living in? I thought this was going to be bad because of the whole controversy, and now we're starting to get excited for it, which, oh man, it's going to be a big positive rant. Guarantee we're going to scream out loud thinking, are you kidding me? It's actually good?
That podcast episode is going to be crazy after we review that.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. It's going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely just completely insane. And which, by the way, I just heard that, yes, Desert was going to get replaced. No surprise there.
We got a busy weekend with that. Going to see Flash Thursday, the concert. Well, for me, I've got 4 days straight. You're going to the concert one day, but yeah.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Flash Thursday, concert Friday, concert Saturday, podcast Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be a busy weekend.
Welcome to a busy summer for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna get exhausted after the concert.
Yeah. I'm glad Flash is the movie coming out that weekend because I'm usually drained of energy for that concert. But Flash is gonna give me energy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna wear my Flash socks and my Flash shirt that day.
I'm gonna wear my Flash shirt as well. When that was the best shirt I could find when I went to go see Shazam for the first time.
Shame.
I mean, that was
wrong lightning symbol.
I know, but you
They
know.
even referenced that in Shazam too. There's another guy with a red suit and a lightning bolt.
Well, the point is, though,
He's faster than me.
the point is, when I went to Walmart that one time, the Shazam shirt was not even out yet. So the best shirt I can do was wearing a Flash shirt.
So the Shazam shirt I got, I've had it. It's barely shows any wear and tear on it.
That's good.
I got it in 2017 at the mall for $4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was on clearance, and it's still in great shape, even after all the times I've worn it.
I probably have to try to get some Spider-Man socks because I heard they go for $7.
Yeah, they have Spider-Man socks at Walmart right now.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
I just got socks from the Batman.
Yeah, I immediately took pictures of them. I was thinking, I hope I can get to wear that when we go see an opening weekend. Okay, now onto the big topic, and that is the thing that has to be called low budget, but pretty much had a big impact with movies.
And it doesn't have to be box office either, because some movies didn't do well at the box office right now, and some of them end up being some of the greatest movies in their genre.
Mm-hmm. I got at least 5 movies that did have a low budget, but actually did extremely well as well. So
Yeah.
those are definitely included as well. And the premise is it has to be at least 50 million or less.
Yes.
Which I definitely pick up some good ones, but I'll save myself for last.
Oh, you want to go last?
Yep, I do. Well, actually, I guess I'll go second because I'm gonna have myself a big debate over that one film. I'm gonna
You already know one of mine.
Yeah. So
You want to go first?
Sure. So, there are really 2 movies that stand out
Well,
whenever I think of this.
two I told you earlier, probably.
Exactly. I'm going to start with newest first, with Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah.
What I love about Terrifier 2 is that it had so much hype that Oscar judges had to sit through and watch it in order to determine if it was eligible.
Oh my!
I love that.
That's funny.
I love the fact that it did so well, and that should give hope to indie horror filmmakers.
Here's your stats for the other one you're going to mention.
But you're definitely right because when the film festival was out and there was like a secret screening and when people talk about it was going to be Terrifier 2, there were lots of people that were excited for it, but then they were thinking, I don't care for the first Terrifier that much. But then Terrifier 2, I mean, extremely small budget, but actually made multi times this budget, and there's already a third movie that's going to be coming out soon, which is crazy successful what they did.
Another thing about the Terrifier movies I want to point out is the first one, whenever it had the Indiegogo for the first Terrifier movie did not do that well. But the second one, they crushed the goal.
Yeah.
I think that is a testament to the Terrifier franchise, and I think that for that reason, I think we're going to see quite a few more movies. You know, we might see spin-offs, we might see origin stories. I don't know what all that Damien Leone has planned for that franchise, but he is a fantastic filmmaker. And to see how gruesome that Terrifier 2 is, and to hear that Terrifier 3 is going to be bigger as far as gore goes, I don't know how they're going to top that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah, and even though it's not exactly my genre, it's great to hear that when budget comes pretty small and yet it can still be very successful, you can pretty much make any movies you like now that it became incredibly successful. Mm-hmm. So even if it's not for me, it's very impressive what Terrifier 2 did. So I'll definitely give them credit. They did a heck of a job of making this movie for everybody. Mm-hmm. Almost everybody.
I was going to say, are you going to watch it with us?
And probably not.
I won't even watch it, so.
Yeah.
You watch the opening scene and you're like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second movie, you know, this should be no shock to horror fans that I'm going to mention the original Halloween. The original Halloween was actually an independent movie.
How much was it?
It says here the budget was between $300,000 and $325,000.
Are you kidding me?
No.
And do you know what the original Michael Myers mask was made of?
What?
This is this is the God's honest truth.
It's an Inside Out William Shatner mask.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it was Inside Out. I think they just repainted it, made the eyes wider.
I seen it was Inside Out.
I have no idea, but either way, they used a William Shatner mask for the Michael Myers mask.
Oh no!
But I mean,
Oh wow!
it should go without saying that the Halloween franchise is one of the most important horror franchises in history.
Yeah, because how much money did that make after?
70 million.
Yeah,
Man,
And that's
That's-
200,000 to 70 million.
that's crazy.
I'll go and pull up
And-
the other one real quick.
That is crazy.
And what's crazy about that is that's only the first movie.
Well, yeah,
There's like what, 13 of them now total? 14?
There's a lot.
yeah.
But Halloween, it really set the precedent for indie horror.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's no longer indie, but the fact that that is the roots of the Halloween movie, again, just like Terrifier 2, that should give hope to indie horror filmmakers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I knew for a fact that it became humongously successful when the first movie came out. And I might have read how much the budget was, but I clearly forgot it, but I surprised myself. I cannot believe it was only 6 digits. That's crazy. And all of a sudden, it's turning into this multi-million-dollar franchise. It's unbelievable how they managed to go from small budget to what we got just now. It's crazy. Wow.
I think I've just got one more movie to read here,
Okay.
and that would be Night of the Living Dead.
Okay. You're talking about the 68 version,
Yeah.
right? Okay, I
Yes.
should say.
I have to give a shout out to the actor Dwayne Jones from this movie, because this was still in a time period where it was quite taboo for a black man to be the lead actor
Well,
in
yeah.
a movie.
Yeah,
So the fact that he was the lead in this movie is so incredible.
absolutely.
And actually, fun fact for those that didn't know, he is the inspiration for one of the characters in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
One of the characters in season 1 is actually named after him. The character is literally named Dwayne Jones,
Okay.
Huh.
specifically being the Morgan character's son. So that alone tells you how far that this legacy from Night of the Living Dead has gone.
Yeah.
Right.
We're still seeing it today. It was made on a budget between $114,000 and $125,000,
Dang.
and made a stacked $30 million.
Man, that's crazy.
That should show you how crazy successful some indie horror movies can be.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Indie movies in general. There's
And
one more I thought of. Do you want to mention or should I?
You can have me mention it either way, because I'll let you pull it up, and then I have something else to add to that.
Okay. Actually, I don't have that many to mention, so I'll just mention it.
Okay. Right now, with the writer strike going on, and with other strikes possible,
Oh, right. That. Yeah.
it is the best time to get into film.
Absolutely.
This is the time for indie filmmakers. So we see these movies that we've mentioned. We see the Halloweens. We see the Terrifiers. The Night of the Living Deads. We can have that again.
Yeah.
I believe that we will have that again. Now is the time for indie film.
Yeah.
I mean, look at movies like The Whale.
Yeah.
A
Especially for film,
multi-Oscar award winning.
Yeah. And
especially for
Brendan
film,
Fraser's first Oscar, which that was by
That's a
far
crime that's his
was.
first.
I mean, that is by far that was one of the most incredible stories of the Oscars. And I mean, personally, I personally thought Austin Butler was going to win for playing Elvis. But I was very happy with Brendan Fraser because Woody Just Back in Action was actually my movie growing up, and he actually starred in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Brendan Fraser a lot, so yeah, good for him. And you're right, independent movies, yeah, we need more of that, absolutely.
I feel like right now, especially with the writer's strike, drama and horror films can thrive right now because you don't need big budgets. Certain genres you need a big budget, and you got to get back by the studio to make what you want for the movie. Like sci-fi usually needs a bigger budget
Yeah.
to do because of all this visual effects.
Yeah. And what I was going to say too about the Night of the Living Dead, the fact that the lead actor is black, that was a huge thing because back in the 50s and 60s, race was a humongous deal, and you couldn't do anything back in those times. But the fact that years later, sadly, there's still the race issues.
Yeah.
Sadly, but it's nice to see that people that are black can get jobs with acting or also anything that they actually can do. That's when you actually realize that you're not useless anymore, and that's great to know because I like all people of color, including those kind of people. So the fact that he was the lead actor for Night of the Living Dead, that was a huge thing because most of the time we don't get those back in those days, but thank goodness that things changed.
And now today we have Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
One of the biggest names in Hollywood right now.
Absolutely.
And before that, you had Will Smith and Denzel Washington.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. I love that the racial stereotype, for the most part, has been broken. I just really, really, really hope to see more progress over the next few years.
Yes.
I know that this podcast isn't supposed to be about political issues, but that is one that I'm very passionate about, is racism. I think it has no place in film
Or anywhere.
Absolutely.
So that's all I'll say on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I got at least 5 movies that actually have that's on the list of low-budget movies that actually became a huge impact. So I'm going to start with the first one and actually give a little bit of a backstory to go with that as well, and just to keep you entertained. So, back in the 60s and 70s, Sylvester Stallone, he was not a big actor name at the time. But then, in 76, he created this little sports movie called Rocky. It was a very cheap movie to make at $960,000.
Really?
I didn't realize it was that cheap.
It was.
Yeah.
And he was searching for movie companies and scripts around for people to be interested. I mean, he was trying to get this movie to be made. And keep in mind, this was an unknown actor at the time. No one knew who he was yet. And when the film came out, it became one of the biggest inspirational movies of all time. It had made over $225 million. And it won multiple Oscars, including Best Picture.
You should mention some of the things that he did to finance this movie.
Yeah, and thanks to the humongous success of Rocky, we get ourselves a humongous franchise that's still growing strong today, including the recent Creed 3, which is arguably the best of the franchise.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, it's crazy to me. You go from an actor that you never heard of, who was just doing little bitty stuff, into making Rocky.
All of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just
the dude literally sold his dog.
Did he really?
Yes, that is a true story. He sold his dog to help finance the first Rocky movie.
That's
but
crazy.
Here's the kicker, though. He actually bought his dog back after the success.
Oh, that's great. That is awesome.
Like that's why I said to mention some of the things he did to finance it, because like that, I would never sell my dogs to finance a movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
And personally, for me, I love Sylvester Stallone as a person, not just as an actor, because I pretty much have what he has, and that is faith. And he's also a great actor in particular. So Sylvester Stallone is another of my favorite actors I actually love. But yeah, so cheap to make, and you make over $225 million, and you turn into this humongous franchise.
A franchise that still stands the test of time.
Absolutely.
And when did the first one come out? What year?
1976.
Yeah, so
We're probably going to
almost
get
50 years.
We're going to get so many more movies in this series.
Probably so.
Something's definitely going out for the 50th anniversary. Creed 4, probably.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, which Creed 4 is hilariously stupid, but it's fun. It's really
Creed
fun.
3?
And Creed 3, yes, Creed 3 is great too. Yeah, I personally love all of them, including the 5th one, which is it's bad, but I love it for how silly this
Oh,
movie is.
Scream.
No,
Oh,
the
Scream?
Rocky movies.
Oh, Rocky. I was like, what? What's going on? What are we talking about? 5th movie? I was like, Creed, what? I didn't know there was a Creed 5 yet.
No, there's not. There's only 3 Creed movies. He was
Okay, that's
talking.
not bad.
But it does count
the
the
Rocky
ninth,
movies,
but it
right?
does count the ninth movie in the Rocky franchise. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Jeez,
Matthew
get your act
at
together,
DXC had
Matthew.
a brain fart.
Yeah. Like, what? Huh? What?
Yeah. Okay. So, Rocky, and by the way, just want to let you know, all 5 of these movies actually are all my favorite movies, of course, including the second one that actually had that also became a humongous impact and also was not very expensive to make. Napoleon Dynamite. It is so funny. The budget for this film is $400,000. $400,000, and it made $46 million. And nerds and high schoolers everywhere were falling in love with this movie.
I've
One of
never
the-
seen it.
It's one of the best comedies of all time.
Oh, it's
I've never seen
hilarious.
it.
Let me just tell you, there is no plot. It's just him being a goofball.
Gosh.
And also people making fun of him for being a nerd, and also the way he talks.
I'm
It-
offended.
But it is
It's such a good movie.
It is hilarious. It's so funny, and it actually got a huge impact in the film festival as well when it actually came out. And then when it actually came out theatrically, the fact that it made $46 million is pretty great. I first discovered this movie last year by one of my buddies from church who actually recommended me to watch this movie, and I've been wanting to check it out. And it's just so hilarious. It's hysterical, and I love the scene where he was feeding this animal and said, "Eat the food, eat the food." It's so great. And then the karate talk when I was thinking this has nothing to do with karate. It's great. It's so wonderful. It's a hilarious comedy movie, and the fact it was so cheap to make and yet still got a humongous theatrical release. That was to me. I know it's crazy, a very important movie. No matter if it's comedy or whatever in between. So I just love Napoleon Dynamite. It's just so great. And the actor, no one knew who the actor was, and he became a huge, pretty much a huge social media kind of person. And for some reason, they made it into a animated TV show for some reason.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, apparently there was an animated TV show that was based on the movie, which I didn't even know that existed.
It can't be worse than the Karate Kid animated series.
I was unaware they had that.
To be fair, I've never actually seen it all the way through. I need to, because
Well-
I'm a huge fan of that franchise. Anyway, I digress, because it's your time. to
Yeah,
talk.
exactly. So, Napoleon Dynamite, again, $400,000, turned into this humongous movie, and that a lot of people love. So, I love Napoleon Dynamite. That's the second movie. Third movie, I'm probably going to get laughed at. I'm probably going to be thinking to myself, oh dear. Okay. I just want to let you know, guys, I may be 29 years old.
We're judging you.
Old man.
But just to let you know, when I mention this movie, I'm not going to care if you make fun of me, and that I still love this movie, because it deserved to be on the list. It's a TV movie.
Oh, I was gonna say what, The Land Before Time?
No, it's not. This movie was pretty much the movie that I love watching, and I may be a 29-year-old man, but I still love this movie. And it had a small budget, and it became a humongous success on TV. Oh God, here we go. High School Musical. I mean, serious. Look. I understand that people say, why would you put a straight-to-TV movie, and how this became a huge impact. It did. Let me explain. The budget for this movie was $4.2 million. When it aired on Disney Channel, it was watched by millions. And it became a humongous franchise that spawned 3 movies and a multi-season TV show on Disney+. And I watched that movie constantly when I recorded it on VHS tape. I fell in love with this movie. And I still think the movie is great. There's even college students who actually watched the film as well. I mean, serious. in the adults college kids react video, there's literally college kids that are that's watching reaction of High School Musical, and there are still people even from college that still loves this movie. It's a huge impact for people that went to high school all the way up to adulthood, and they still love High School Musical. And I'm one of those people, okay? I'm one of those people that still loves this franchise. And I don't care if people think it's cheesy. I don't care. It's great. And I even bought the soundtrack, and I even bought the actors. Vanessa Hudgens was my first crush. She was my first celebrity crush. And I was just thinking to myself, one of these days I'm gonna date her, and maybe we'll get together. But then I didn't even know what celebrity status was until years later. But I know it's crazy, but it was a huge impact for a reason. It was watched by millions of people on television, and they still love the film. It's got a cult following for a reason, because people love High School Musical. So I don't care what you guys say. I still love High School Musical, and I still do to this day. And it's a huge impact for a reason. So if you guys want to go ahead and give your thoughts on why I said that, you go right ahead.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for this.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm not gonna get judged. That's good.
Oh, I'm judging.
We're judging in silence.
I
have one word.
The silence.
I have one word to say to that.
okay.
Boo.
I know.
I'm just kidding. If I can let you in on a little secret, I actually used to watch those movies. But that's only because that was around they came out around the time period I was getting into music, and I was really into musicals at that time. So
Yeah.
naturally, I haven't watched any of those movies in years. But no, respect.
Okay, that's good. And keep in mind too, Zac Efron, he was a no-name guy at the time. But
and
then
now, look at what he's doing now. He played frickin' Ted Bundy. It's hard to believe that this is the guy that was on High School Musical.
yeah, and then he started in Neighbors, the very hard R comedy movie that became incredibly successful. The Greatest Showman, which is very underrated, which I love, by the way. He's great in that movie, and he became a huge star.
My favorite musicals are the Flash musical episode and Repo the Genetic Opera. That's a great musical.
I'll go out there and probably check it out sometimes.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah. So yeah, I know it's crazy that I have that one on the list, but when I was coming up with the list of movies that had a little budget became a huge impact, I just had to. I am not embarrassed to put High School Musical on that list, and
I would be.
Oh no, I still love it. I definitely want to go back and watch it actually. So there you go. Getting those out of the way, now we're getting to the full-length theater stuff. 2 more to go. Couple of them are actually westerns, actually. Fourth one I actually have is the remake of True Grit. The budget for this film was $35 to $38 million. Still pretty expensive, but still pretty cheap to make. And this was at the time when Western movies was on its knees. People were thinking, Western films is dead. And people were thinking, we're never going to get a good Western movie anymore. We haven't got a good one since 3:10 to Yuma that came out in 2007. There has not been a Western movie that made a huge impact. Well, this movie, it made a big impact. Made over $252 million, was nominated for multiple Oscars, including Best Picture, and there was also the other nominations that were also. They also got to be on there. Let's see. Accolades. There we go. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Actor for Jeff Bridges. Best Supporting Actress for Haley Steinfeld became a humongous star because of this movie.
She'll be in Spider-Verse next week.
Yeah, exactly. And it was nominated for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Sound Mixing, and also Best Sound Editing. And while it didn't win any, it still became a humongous impact in the Western movie genre and also in movies in general because the fact that the film actually what cost that much, but still considered being one of the best movies of 2010, it's awesome. And I love it that Western is still a thing that people actually do enjoy. And True Grit was definitely one of them. So that's the port movie. Finally, one more Western film to actually have, and this also stars, what do you know it? Jeff Bridges. And the movie that also is a Western movie, it's actually a different type of Western film. It's called Hell or High Water.
Ooh.
I've
And
not seen that yet. I've got it, but I haven't watched it.
it's awesome. And the budget for this film was only $12 million. And while it did modestly well with $37.9 million, once again, just like True Grit, was nominated for multiple Oscars.
It was made by the dude who made the Yellowstone TV show.
Oh, okay, yeah,
'Cause he
yeah,
also did Wind River and Sicario.
yeah. Which actually makes a lot more sense. And what I love about this movie is it's not just a Western movie; it also has some heist in it, which I also loved.
And it's a modern Western, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
modern Western, and I love the casting and I love the chemistry of Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine. That's brilliant. That's great casting. Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine together in a Western crime movie. Sign us up. And when I watched the movie, I was blown away of this movie. It's brilliantly acted, and the whole throughout the whole heist and also the whole crime scenes, it was so captivating. And it was nominated for Best Picture, and Jeff Bridges got nominated for Actor again for that film. Best Original Screenplay and Best Editing, which once again, Western films was starting to grow. I mean, there were some multiple Western movies that came out that had a big impact. Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, and then came Hell or High Water, which came out of nowhere, and it turned to be on multiple people's lists of the best films of 2016. And so, yeah, it was another fantastic Western movie. And if you guys have not watched Hell or High Water, you need to. It is an amazing crime heist Western movie. It is really that fantastic.
I'll definitely check it out soon.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
should. It's great. And,
So
the fact that Chris Pine's in it, you'll definitely like it.
Since you mentioned that, in Walmart's $5 bin, I'm assuming it's most Walmarts because we have it in ours. You can get a 3-pack of Sicario, Wind River, and Hell or High Water for $5
Oh, nice.
on DVD in the bin.
Oh, cool.
So just thought I'd mention that.
Okay.
So yeah, I've actually got 7 as I did more research as you guys were talking.
Oh, okay.
We'll start with the biggest budget one, which was Die Hard. 25 to 35 million. It only made 139 million, which not that big of a return on. It was still a decent return, but it became one of the greatest action movies of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But is it a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yes, it is a Christmas movie.
And we'll stick with the. I'll group them in categories. We'll do another action. Dread.
Oh, yeah.
This is the most expensive out of them. 30 to 45 million. Didn't do well at the box office at all. Didn't even make its budget if it was 45. It only made 41 million. But it gained a cult following and became one of the greatest action movies of all time.
And one of the greatest comic movies of all time.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
And yes,
there's
I finally seen it.
You did? What do you think?
It's good.
It's brutal, isn't it?
and there are still people that are crabbing to see a sequel, even though it did not
Yeah.
do well.
They're doing a TV show,
Okay.
and it might be a sequel.
I'd be on board with that because I did remember watching it.
Yeah, you watched it with me.
I did. I really enjoyed it.
I'll do the horror ones next,
Yes.
and I'll save the sci-fi for last since I'm the sci-fi expert. Saw.
Yeah.
$1 million.
Yeah.
Box office $103 million.
Yeah.
James Wan's first movie spawned his career, and it spawned, 11 sequels now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll say 11 sequels. The other one started Zack Snyder's career, the remake of Dawn of the Dead. 26 million, made 102 million, considered one of the best zombie movies of all time.
26 million. Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some people even like it more than the original. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's considered one of the best zombie movies of all time. Now into the 3 sci-fi. We'll start with Blade Runner. Box office budget was 30 million. Box office was only 41 million.
Not very good.
No, didn't do well at the box office. Considered one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time now. Terminator. 6.4 million.
That's a good one.
Made 78 million.
Yeah.
Instant sci-fi action classic.
Yeah.
You can't say sci-fi and not say Terminator.
Yeah.
Same with Blade Runner. Those are essential in that genre.
And the truth is, without the Terminator, we would have never got the greatest sequel of all time, Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
And you wouldn't have got half these. You wouldn't have got the Cyberpunk video game. You wouldn't have got the Matrix.
Yeah.
Half the Cyberpunk stuff is almost every Cyberpunk thing traces back to Terminator or Blade Runner, and both of them were very small budget.
And it turned Arnold Schwarzenegger into a humongous superstar.
It did.
Yeah.
Sarah Connor. Yes. To quote Scream. Well, to quote Scream and Terminator. And the last one, you already know what it is.
I'll be back.
You already know what the last one is. 1979. One of the greatest sci-fi movies. Also, according to the Science of Scare, one of the scariest movies of all time. Alien.
Yes.
11 million. Made 184 million. Spawned 6 sequels and 2 spin-offs with 5 sequels and 2 spin-offs with Predators. 6 sequels coming. Well, I don't know if it's a sequel, spin-off, whatever. 6 movie after the original is coming next year, as well as a TV show. And that's another one. You cannot say sci-fi and not think Alien.
Yeah.
Terrifying as all get out. The suspense. It's not really that. It's dated, but the effects aren't really that dated.
No,
It still
really
looks
not.
scary today.
Yeah. It still looks great. Yeah.
I've got the Blu-ray set of all 6, and it looks great even compared to Alien Covenant, which was the last one, which came out in 2017. It still looks good to this day.
Yeah, and keep in mind that almost all of the Alien movies were good.
Yeah.
But then, like I said,
We couldn't resurrect that one, though.
I
That was a pun. That goes on the bank.
I definitely was gonna get to that. Oh God, I hated it so badly. I mean, I will admit this: when Matthew and I were watching it, we were laughing for how horrible this movie was. Seriously, we were roasting this movie. We were roasting like barbecue chicken. We really were. I mean, we were just saying these things. And I remember there was a few of these scenes I was just thinking, you gotta be kidding me. And I actually had to jump out of my seat. I was just thinking, okay, I'm done. See ya. And just, oh God, that movie was just so bad.
I'll mention a little bit more jumping into this whole field right here. Aliens, the budget was not much more than the original. Considered one of the greatest action movies of all time.
Yes.
And sci-fi movies. It upped the ante, it upped the action, but still considered one of the greatest of all time. And then also Predator 1.
Ah, yeah.
$15 to $18 million budget, made $98 million.
Yeah.
But I consider it one of Arnold's best movies. I'd say T2, Predator, and I say T2, Predator, and the first Terminator are his best work.
Okay.
What do you think, Paul? That sound about right?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah. I mean, it seems like at any time when the actor you never even heard of, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and yet you still make a movie and it still became a cultural phenomenon. It's unbelievable. That's how he managed to do this so.
Arnold was the actor of the 80s.
Yeah.
He had both. Well, Terminator 2 came out in 91, but he had Terminator and Predator in the 80s. Both massive films in the sci-fi genre.
Yeah. I mean, and people are going to be asking now. I mean, who is the essential 80s actors of action? Sylvester Stallone versus Bruce Wilson versus Arnold Schwarzenegger. Fight!
Yeah, I'd say they are the big 3.
Yeah, they definitely are big 3. Yeah. I want to get to another topic, and since we got plenty of time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's make a prediction of which we think will be the best June movie of this year.
Oh.
Best
movie or best box office?
Best movie.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
That I would probably say that I mean I could argue for either number 1 or number 2 because
Box office will be Flash.
Yeah.
Flash is going to make the most money without a doubt.
Yeah, that's actually the number 1 movie that I definitely think is going to be the best one of June. Is The Flash. Spider-Verse is very close to a number 2 for me.
I don't know. I feel like they're riding too much on Flash, and if it doesn't have this massive, you have massive expectations for it because of all the hype behind it. So if it does one thing wrong, it's going to let everybody down.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse is going to be the best one, in my opinion.
I'm holding out hope Flash is the best one, but I still think Spider-Verse is going to be better.
I mean, June is, again, it's so stacked with movies that are coming out. I mean, can you imagine different movies saying, this was number one at the box office? No, this was number one at the box office. This is number one. I mean, how are you supposed to choose what movies to come out in June when there's so many movies to come out? You got Flash. You got, the Spider-Verse. You got Indiana Jones. You got Transformers. You got Pixar's Elemental.
That's still getting buried, I'm telling you.
Transformers.
No, Elemental.
Yeah.
The only one that's going to go see, even if people adults like Pixar, the only ones that are going to go see that as kids with all those other movies coming out. The only movie that's going to stay at the box office for number one for more than a week is Flash, because Spider-Verse comes out week 1, Transformers week 2, Flash week 3, Indiana Jones doesn't come out till week 5. But every week, each one's going to take the number one spot of that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So Flash is the only one that's going to stay at number one for more than 1 week.
I mean, I just hope that the Flash will definitely be the one that people said that it reached up the expectation, because it feels like it was created for like 100 years since the dinosaur died.
They have been working on the Flash movie since the 80s.
Oh, God. Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
It became 2 TV shows before it became a movie.
Yeah.
It was a TV show in the 90s.
Which I didn't even know that existed until...
I've got it on DVD.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that show is dated.
His father from the Grant Gustin show played him in the 90s show.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was just thinking, that is extremely interesting.
Yeah. It only ran 1 season. It was decent.
Yeah. But I still haven't even bothered to watch season 8 yet. Oh, gosh.
That's something else I meant to get to on this episode. I was going to mention this since it's over finally. The Arrowverse is officially over. 38 seasons, 712 episodes. Massive milestone. It was doing the multiverse before the MCU. It did crossovers before around the same time as the MCU. Because the first crossover was like 2014. And Avengers came out in 2012. But, they were doing like massive, nobody on TV was doing anything like that at the time. There were like 7 different shows, and they'd have crossover events that were like 5 episodes, where all these shows would come together. And it being a TV show, you can introduce more characters than movies. You're talking the last crossover, like the last big one, Crisis on Infinite Earths. There was probably 50, 60 superheroes in that crossover. Even the MCU's not that big. Endgame had a bunch of people, but how many of them were no-name sorcerers or Wakandans? There's only about 25 to 30 actual Avengers.
Yeah.
So there was even more than the actual Avengers in Endgame.
Yeah. I can never forget watching the very first episode of Flash after watching Justice League 2017. And I was thinking, I like this superhero. I actually like him. I'm going to check out the TV show.
Yeah, I love Flash.
And I was so hooked by the first episode of season 1 that I decided I'm going to watch through the whole thing. Because the season finale of season 1 of The Flash was so emotional. Oh gosh, it was crazy. And then season 2 finale probably got even more emotional in the last one.
Season 2 was incredible.
Oh yeah, it was. And then when you get to season 3, oh, the musical one, oh, so good.
Savitar.
Oh man, that was so good.
That twist with Savitar though was great.
I mean, and again,
Paul would like the speedster villain voices.
I can never forget when I watched the musical episode, and when I heard that song, "Come Running Home to You" by Grant Gustin, and he proposed to her, Iris, I immediately yelled out, "Yes! Yes! He proposed! She said yes!" And then once I got to a couple episodes left of season 3. And I actually found out that people were thinking that Iris was going to die. I was thinking, oh, no, please don't die, do not die. And then you actually found out, nope, Iris didn't die.
We'll give this as a reference to Paul since he has no clue what we're talking about.
Okay.
There was a musical episode, and Flash had actually wrote a song, kind of a pun. It was all done on piano. It was called Running Home to You. And he sang that right as he get ready to propose to his wife. All my life I'll keep running home to you. And it was just beautiful.
Yes. Such a beautiful song. And Greg Gustin actually has a musical background.
Yeah, he started on the TV show Glee.
Yeah. But oh man, I mean, season 3, that's actually is my favorite season.
That was the last good season. The Arrowverse had a lot of ups and downs. but
Well,
it was still...
I can make the argument that season 4 was the only the last of the great seasons.
I didn't care for season 4.
But then
A lot of the other shows went up and down. Flash kind of stayed.
All right, boys, let's get the boxing gloves out now.
Yeah, Flash kind of stayed down after season 3. But like Legends and Arrow and stuff went up and down. Arrow and Flash both had horrible season 4s, but Supergirl had the best season 4. Like that was probably Supergirl's strongest season.
Okay.
And Paul would definitely like that season. Going back to the racism thing,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it had
yeah.
Agent Liberty. He Earth First, no aliens allowed type stuff. They did a lot with like prejudice against aliens and stuff, and like aliens being illegal and stuff like that.
I'm already loving the actress from The Flash.
Yeah, I
Supergirl.
think she'll do good.
I'm already in love with the acting choice. With the actress choice, not the actress, I know why you're giving me that look, Paul. No. The actress choice. I'm already loving that Supergirl. Based on the trailer itself.
Yeah, I love Melissa Benoist, but
Yeah.
Calling John's girlfriend.
I love Melissa Benoist, but Sasha Cole looks like she'll do really good.
If she's going to be part of the reboot, I'd be so excited for her. I'd be so on board. I'll be thinking, yes, a Supergirl movie I get to be excited for.
It's just a rumor.
Okay.
It has no clue on the validity of it whatsoever. According to a rumor I've seen, they are bringing back Melissa as the new Supergirl in the new timeline. She'll be the movie Supergirl. It won't reference the TV show. Apparently they're bringing back Melissa and Stephen Amell as Green Arrow.
I don't know how I feel.
John.exe has stopped working. Please restart the
I don't know how I feel about that. Because I personally think if you're going to restart it, I would not do that.
Use Sasha, yeah, she's already.
I mean, people made petitions like Greg Gustin replace Ezra Miller, which I was thinking that's not gonna work. That is not gonna work, guys.
Grant wants to stop for a while.
Exactly.
He said this in an interview. He said he has a kid. He wants to spend time with his wife and kid. He was blessed to play the Flash for all these years.
Yeah.
And he would consider any option in the future. He would always give the option to come back as Flash. He'd always talk it over. But he doesn't want to do it full time. He could do animated. He could do a movie. He's always willing to at least give it a shot to come back. But he doesn't want to do it full time anymore.
I was unaware that he has kids.
Yeah, him and his wife, I think his daughter's like 2 years old.
Oh,
that's why he wants to spend time with her.
Oh, that's very sweet.
He wants to do something to like spend more time with his family.
So just like recently he became a dad.
Yeah. He got married like 3-4 years ago.
Oh wow,
And
okay.
had a kid like 2 years ago.
That's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I mean, Greg Gustin, he's just a great actor in particular.
He seems like a great dude too.
Absolutely. Hopefully we get to interview him someday. That would be really
That'd be
cool.
so cool.
That would be so awesome. But, yeah, they'll be looking forward to see what the Flash will be bringing in store, and hopefully it'll lift up the expectations.
I think that's all we got for this week, though.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and once again, it's nice to have Paul being back for this podcast, and definitely come back again soon, and so we can definitely keep doing more of that. Yeah, the next week, that's where the Beast Mode will be coming with our Spider-Man movie rankings. And
No, the Beast will be coming with Transformers because it's called Transformers Rise of the Beast.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. You know what I mean? We're gonna have ourselves some rage takes with this one because can it be as bloody as the Star Wars rankings or the opinions one? I don't know. It can't be that bad.
Oh, it can be.
Matthew and I already talked, and we have very similar lists.
And one of your favorites is at the bottom.
Matthew and I will be fine.
But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting because just keep in mind, I love all the Spider-Man movies. There's not even a bad one. By the way, the Venom movies will be included as well.
Yes, and Morbius.
I'm not putting Morbius on there because that does not count. at the Spider-Man movie. That totally does not count.
Vulture is in it.
Well, still,
Michael Keaton's Vulture is in it.
I mean, I'm going to.
Yes, you're gonna have to watch it before then.
I'm scared to death, honestly. No pun in that. There's no pun because Morbius. Okay,
He's undead, so yeah.
I mean, okay. I was excited for the movie, but then they had like 3-4 trailers, and I was just thinking, oh no, I heard the film sucks now. So now my expectations is low now for Morbius at this point. So
It's really a nail biting movie.
yeah. Dude, if you're listening to this, add that to the bank too. But anyway, yep, we'll do our Spider-Man movie rankings, and we're gonna see how it goes from there. And keep in mind, bar list is definitely not going to be the same, so that's going to be quite fun. Also, real quickly as well, the Instagram followers actually got up. Actually, last time I checked, we were at 42 followers.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, and the more followers we get for Instagram as well, the more you guys can check us out. So please remember to check us out on all the streaming services, on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. We're pretty much available everywhere. And please comment and tell us what you would like to see in our next episode, and also what would you like to see like improvement, even though our streaming and downloads kept going up, and we've been incredibly blessed with the success of the streaming downloads. But what should be improved? Tell us that in the comments below, please. We would love to hear it.
And just a reminder, the more our downloads go up and the more our followers go up, the more stuff we give away.
Absolutely. So, guys, have yourself a great day, and also hope you get to enjoy your Memorial Day. So may God bless you all, and we'll see you all in the next episode.
Bye.